That's a copperhead. Get away from me, ugly snake. There he is. Fish. Good fish. Get him, Finn. There we go. What do you think about that, Finn? It's a nice one. Tony old War Eagle spinnerbait. Vertus rod. Life is good. Everybody go through these rocks. There you go, folks. It's a nice fish. It's on a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait. Got this 7'2" Vertus rod. It's a swim jig rod. 15-pound test. Just kind of fishing the conditions today. You know, there's fish on beds. I'm seeing beds everywhere. The fish are kind of swimming off the beds. They're not really stuck on them. And honestly, I don't really want to mess around with them. So I'm just kind of blind casting, kind of fishing the conditions. You know, we got overcast conditions, a lot of wind today. Temperatures are like, you know, 80, winds blowing like 20 up to 30. So we're just going around the bank, you know, kind of fishing out 2 to 7 foot. And I've had several bites. I missed a really big one. I missed about a 5-pounder while ago in the spinnerbait. It's a good quality fish. So we're going to cover some water, try to keep this spinnerbait in our hand for a little while, and hopefully we can come up with a few fish. Ah, missed him. Dumped it. There he is. Not that long. That's a good fish. Good fish, man. Good fish, man. Man, that fish is strong. There we go. Spinnerbait. Fat fish, boy. Look at that. Boom. Look at that, folks. That's a solid fish, man. I'm digging this rod, man. This is that 7'2" Vertus rod. If you haven't checked out Vertus, check them out, man. Not a sponsorship plug or anything. I just, you know, liking this rod and digging it. Just fishing shallow wood. That fish was in like 2 foot of water. I don't know if there's a bed up there or what. Kind of looks like it might be, actually. But she hammered that thing. Just absolutely plowed it. Just about tore my spinnerbait up. So I'm floating next to a log and I'm about to hit it. So there we go, bumped it. But we'll let her back, see if we can cover a little more water, talk about some spinnerbaits and conditions and that kind of stuff. This is fun. This is fun. I was up at Table Rock and we were fishing out there in like 20 plus foot of water, which I like doing that too. And I tried to do that a little bit today, but ultimately you just got to kind of fish the conditions. Conditions are presenting themselves as shallow, windy areas, spawning pockets, and that's what we're going to do. Targeting these laydowns, man. A lot of little shallow laydowns. These are areas where spawners will be at, pre-spawners will be at, post-spawners will be at. Fishing all stages, use laydowns in spring. Just kind of slow rolling it down the side of these laydowns, hoping there's one down there. There he is. Right on that rip wrap, little sucker. Come in here. Come in here. Alright, fish was right up against that rip wrap. I'm seeing some beds back there, but there's nothing on them. So I'm just going to work this little rip wrap side of this point and move on. Keep covering water. Finley is tired. You're wore out. You're a house dog. She's used to that AC. You get out here, we got 80-degree air temps and some humidity, and she's been panting. She's gonna have to get in fishing condition. She's just gonna have to stay in the house all summer long because it's supposed to be like 90 tomorrow. It just went straight up summertime. I mean, we had a nice spring, but all of a sudden, boom, we got like 3 or 4 days of mid 90 degree weather in the middle of May, which is, I don't remember that ever happening. I'm thinking that's gonna be some kind of record. But Finley, you gotta get in shape, girl. Finley, you gotta get in shape, girl. You need to shave you need to get your summer cut. You need to get out of the house. I love that dog. Shad. Fish in here. I saw some big old gizzard shad. Good fish, another good fish. Saw a big old gizzard shad fall my spinnerbait up, and I had one bump it, and then this little sucker grabbed it. It's not a little sucker, it's a nice fish. Come here, buddy. There we go. Look at that. That's nice. Solid fish. Chunky monkey. Make it funky. Peeing. Look at that. Peeing, folks. They're right up here on those rocks doing their thing. There you go, guys. Nice fish. Super windy out here. Little spawning area. Saw some gizzard shad. I saw a gizzard shad chase my spinnerbait out. I had one bump it, threw back in there, and that sucker loaded up on it. That's a good solid fish. Happy to have that one. Nice one. Man, just following the wind. Just following the wind, bouncing around, covering water, following the wind. Broke me off. Why did I not retie? That was a good fish. Golly. Finley. That was stupid. Alright. Hopefully I got another one of those spinnerbaits in my arm. Alright, folks, little midday report. It's slowed down a lot. You know, when we got here, it was overcast conditions. The sun has come out. The wind has really picked up. It's blowing. I mean, I don't know, it's really blowing. It's gassing out here. I was coming across the main lake and I couldn't run over like 8 miles an hour. I had to keep the bow of my boat up just to keep water from coming over the front. So I'm thinking there's gusts, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour out here. But I had a decent spinnerbait bite going for quite a while. And I was throwing a 3/8 ounce War Eagle spinnerbait, and I broke it off on about a 4-pounder. I saw it come up, grab it, I set the hook, and that was it. Snap. Always retie. That was a rookie move. And when I felt the line where my knot had broke, or that little section, there was some roughage right there. So the line just broke. That was my fault. But I didn't have another spinnerbait like that. For some reason I took my spinnerbait box out and I left it at the house, and I forgot to put it back in there. I'm doing all these BFLs as a co-angler, so I was going through my tackle and taking a few spinnerbaits out, and you know, I got tackle everywhere, and I just forgot to put that spinnerbait box back in the boat, and they won't hit another spinnerbait. I tried this one, which was similar. This is kind of a sexy shad skirt, but it's a smaller profile. This has got smaller blades. The one that I was getting bit on was a 3/8 ounce. A little bit bigger blades, a little bit different skirt color, kind of more of a blue glimmer. It didn't have the chartreuse and this, you know, whatever that light baby blue color is. It was just a little more translucent looking, but for some reason they wanted the, I don't know if it's the bigger blades or if it's a skirt or if it's all three. And I you know, I tried to make a substitute. I took this old 1/2 ounce Cumberland Pro spinnerbait, and this is basically the same color skirt. There he is. Got that lay down. Can catch a fish on this spinnerbait. Yeah, man. That is one. Okay. So, changed it up. Put bigger blades. Put a spinnerbait with the bigger blades on there. You know, I didn't have another War Eagle just like the one I've been catching all those fish on, but I was wondering. I kept throwing that spinnerbait with the smaller blades and just was not getting bit. I switched up to a 1/2 ounce, which I wanted a 3/8, but all I had was a 1/2 ounce. Different head, but it's got the bigger blades, and I switched the skirt out to that kind of blue glimmer skirt, and it paid off. Paid off. Sometimes they just get super tuned in to a certain blade size. I mean, I've seen some bigger gizzard shad in the grass, so I think that's got something to do with it. Decent fish. Wood is good. Wind is your friend. Let's try to do it again. The difference is this has a lot bigger wire. The War Eagle has a lot thinner wire. And what that does, that thinner wire allows this arm to pulse when you pop it. A lot of what I'm doing is I'm coming through that grass, or I'm coming next to a laydown, and I'm doing little rod twitches. I'm putting some English on it, and that lighter wire really flexes, where this spinnerbait has a stiffer wire, and it's not as flexible, and it's just little bitty things like that can make a big difference. But I think it's a combination of the, you know, that perfect blade size, perfect skirt size, and that wire flex that gets bites. So the water conditions today are, I'm finding like 3 to 4 foot visibility, so fairly clear conditions, and you know, sunny skies, fairly clear water. I really like this blade combination right here. I like a silver, the big blade silver, and then a gold. I always like a gold in the mix, you know, silver gold or both gold, or sometimes I'll have the big one gold and a little one silver. But I always like that combination. I think it just puts off the right kind of flash. If the water was a lot more stained, I would have a big gold one there on the back, and I either have another gold one right here or maybe a silver, but always gold in the spinnerbait. I spent the first part of the morning out deep trying to find some deeper fish. It never really happened. I mean, I caught one little scrub on a shaky head. I saw some fish out deep at certain spots, but I just couldn't get them to commit. You know, I threw a 6XD, a 5XD, and I had some follow. I had a couple bump it, but it just wasn't going on. You know, and then I transitioned to a swim jig, and then I picked up that spinnerbait, and I started getting some looks, started getting some bumps. Oh! Big old girl. So anytime you've got these windy conditions, regardless of the sun, you know, regardless of the light conditions, thing is even in clear water, you got some wind, it breaks up that light penetration, so it's kind of like a cloudy day in a way. But you can always get bit on a spinnerbait. Just follow the wind. The fish are kind of, they're in the middle of everything. You know, there's some pre-spawn fish, I think. There's several spawning fish, and then there's been a post-spawn. You know, we got a full moon coming up here in about a week, so those pre-spawn fish are in the areas. They're just waiting. I think there's going to be a really big push of spawners this May, because things are just a couple weeks behind. But I saw 67-degree water temps. I actually saw 70 degree. Most of the lake was like 67 to 70 degrees, so that's that's going on. The carp are spawning everywhere. You know, there's several areas where I wanted to throw a frog and stuff, but the carp were just blowing everything up. It was muddy and they were just thrashing the grass, so I had to get out of those areas. Just covering water with a spinnerbait, focusing on wood. Wood's key. You know, wood is holds post-spawn, spawn, and pre-spawn fish. You know, the post-spawn, they like to get, when they do their thing, they like to find hard cover and just kind of hang out and rest. So you're going to have those fish there. You're going to have the pre-spawners that are pulling up looking for places to bed, and then they love to spawn with something over their head. So laydowns are key in the spring during the spawn. You can actually just run a laydown pattern, just cover water. And if you've got the wind, the spinnerbait's one of the best ways to catch those fish. So that's all I got for you. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time.